Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I am Dane, your host. I hope you're doing well wherever you may be on this wonderful planet. If you've read Mark Davis's The Hammer of the Gods, you know that while Deep Purple is touring for Come Taste the Band, a drunken John Bonham crashes the stage and belts out something to the effect of, "This Deep Purple album sucks," or Deep Purple sucks in general, something like that. "But we got a new album coming out called Presence, and it's effing great," or something like that, right? So today's Faceoff Friday, although not on a Friday, this is a makeup video, is between Come Taste the Band, released in November 1975, and Presence, released in March of 1976. So let's go ahead and get started. I will begin with Come Taste the Band. I'm not going to do this by the numbers, although I could, but anyway, so I think this is an underrated gem. Tommy Bolin in the band. It is not the Deep Purple you know and love if you compare it to the Blackmore years. Of course, I'm stating the obvious, but I do like this album quite a bit. We've spoken about this album before. The first track, Coming Home, I think is wonderful. Fits right in with the Deep Purple shtick, if you will. Lady Luck, same thing. You have a lot of overall in this album, not necessarily these two tracks. You have some funk going on, or a quasi-funk feel. You have still the blues going on. Just an overall, because of Bolin's presence on the album, you get a different flavor. And the album cover is, meant to direct you into that caution. Come taste us. We're new because of the lineup, but give us a try, kind of thing, right? And the first two tracks, just, a 1-2 punch, if you will, in a good sense, of course. I love these two tracks. Getting Tighter, not as good as Coming Home and Lady Luck, but I do like this song. I won't go as far as to say this is the weakest song on the album, but it is not the best track on the album. But I think I would rate this as a good song. Dealer, more of the Deep Purple shtick that we know and love, same type of vibe. Essentially, if Blackmore was still in the band playing these songs, it would still work. So while Bolin is very different from Blackmore, let's face it, Blackmore on the previous album, Stormbringer, is not playing necessarily in the same vein with Burn and everything before that. It's more bluesy. Of course, Blackmore is gearing up to quit the band because he's not loving what he's doing with Stormbringer, but I love it. It's one of my favorite Deep Purple albums of all time. So Getting Tighter, not the best of songs, but it is a good song. Dealer, I think, is a wonderful song. It fits in with David Coverdale's lyrics or overall mood and writing and what he wants to do as a singer-songwriter and musician, and dealing with card games as metaphors, that kind of thing. So I think this is, you have Lady Double Dealer on Stormbringer, so it very well fits in with the previous two albums, especially Stormbringer. I Need Love. What can I say more? This is David Coverdale being his true self, the romantic, the passionate, looking for love that we see. The foreshadowing Whitesnake really is what this song is. Great song. Drifter, again, very Deep Purple-esque, going right in and fitting with the Deep Purple vibe on this new album at the time, because you have songs like Soldier of Fortune and Gypsy about, wandering alone, being a nomad, being a drifter, in this case, the word of choice, and it's so Deep Purple. Love Child. Not the best song on the album, but like Getting Tighter, I do like it. I like Getting Tighter a little better than Love Child. It is a good song, but not a great song. Now, number 8 is This Time Around / Ode to G. This is my least favorite track on the album. I like the Ode to G part better, but it is a good song. So and then we have one more song, what I'm going to get to in a minute. I'll go ahead and say now, You Keep On Moving is a wonderful song. Again, fits right in with what Deep Purple is supposed to be about a band, as all of these songs do. It's just that Getting Tighter, This Time Around, and Love Child are the three least favorite tracks, but I do like them. They are a good song. So this is an underrated gem. I won't call it a masterpiece, but some have. It is a good album. I don't think it deserves, but again, it's just an opinion. I don't think it deserves the lambasting and panning that it got by critics and fans alike when it first came out. And many people since then have warmed up to it. I've liked this album from the get-go. Now, when I first heard it, I was like, well, it's a good album, but it's missing this, missing that, missing that. But over the years, I would say it's a very good album. So come taste the band. Now we have Presence. Not as many tracks. Let me pull the CD out since I don't have the list. Oh, here, I think we'll use this instead. Of course, the first song is Achilles' Last Stand. Here we go. And I remember, I guess I was late to Led Zeppelin. Well, not really. I was familiar with Led Zeppelin at an early age. I would say 9 or 10, because I'd hear it on the radio. And I like them. But I really didn't start getting them on vinyl until high school. So we're talking freshman year. So 81 or 82. 81, I believe, thereabouts. And late 81. So late to the game, sort of, with respect to buying the stuff. And you have an allowance in high school, that kind of thing, so you can't buy everything. And I remember reading an article in Hit Parade or Circus or whatever, and they were talking about Achilles' Last Stand. It's like, I don't know that song, so I looked into it. It's like, oh, it's on the Presence album. No wonder. Stayed away from this album because people talking about how subpar it was, and you gotta listen to it for yourself. So being a person who loves Greek mythology, so I gotta listen to this. So I end up buying it at some point, and what a great way to start an album. Achilles' Last Stand, 10 minutes and 30 seconds. It's powerful. The drums were very reminiscent of In My Time of Dying. Just Bonham going to town like a crazy person. And then the lyrics are fantastic. You could look at it from so many different angles. One of them is personal, Robert Plant breaking his ankle in Morocco and all, the car crash and all that. I love epic tracks, kind of proggy in that sense, right? For Your Life is a song that warns us against the dangers of drug use, in this case cocaine. Very good song. I love this song, actually. The next song is Royal Orleans. This is my least favorite song of the album. It's just 1 second shy of 3 minutes, but I do like the song. And of course, the song is about the hotel in the French Quarter of the very same name, Royal Orleans. Nobody's Fault But Mine. My favorite song on the album. Almost 6.5 minutes. What's wonderful about this song is that the rhythm section, Bonham and John Paul Jones, are off step with the rest of the music, and yet it still works. Has kind of a funky, proto-funk groove vibe to it. It's just bump, bump, bump. I can't do it right, but it's just great. I love it. And of course, the lyrics are inspiring because we live in an age where no one wants to accept responsibility. But in addition, the guitar solo from Page is stellar, and then you get 2 wonderful harmonica solos from Plant, which are just fabulous. So this is a heavy song in the Led Zeppelin fashion. It's great. I love it. It's a masterpiece of a song. Next is Candy Store Rock, which is an homage to Elvis in many ways. Elvis, and of course Plant was a very big fan of Elvis Presley. There's a story about how they met, and if you watch or listen to the original version of The Song Remains the Same, at some point in the performance, Plant gives a shout out to his love of Elvis. Then you get Hot Song for Nowhere, and this is a song that often is a tie with Royal Orleans as my least favorite. I do like it, but it's not Led Zeppelin at their best. It's a song that is hard to describe. It has a Led Zeppelin feel, but it doesn't have a Led Zeppelin feel, if that makes sense. So it's a good song, but not a very good song, nor a great song. I do like it, but I have to admit, I do have to be in the mood to listen to it. Next an epic track, almost 9.5 minutes. T for One, dealing with solitude. Now, most of us have gone on admitting, many of us, I should say, not most, many of us will admit, and rightfully so, that T for One is a bit of self-plagiarism because it sounds very similar or akin to Since I've Been Loving You. Same vibe, especially with the guitar. Of course, it's very bluesy. But regardless of that self-plagiarism or not, I love this song. It has a certain mood that you just have to plant yourself and take it all in, and just, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a meditation song, but it is a thought-provoking song. Anyway, so you have only 7 tracks on this album, but it's made up for by the fact that you have 2 songs that are epic length, one 10.5, one almost 9.5, as compared to the longer Come Taste the Band. So, which of these 2 albums reigns supreme? Well, let me put my little booklet here back in the gatefold here. As far as album covers go, they're both pretty bad. I remember in high school someone suggested it would have been better if they went the burn route and made the band members look like cake, their faces, and then this is just, I get the whole 2001 Space Odyssey shtick, but anyway, and this isn't much better, the back version. But I love both of these albums. Am I going to pick this one, or am I going to pick this one? Well, it's this one, but not by much. I think they're both underrated. They've both been criticized heavily, as I said, by fans and critics. There's just something magical about both of them, and they rightfully belong in each respective catalog. This is a true and true Deep Purple album, despite the fact that Blackmore's not in the band, despite the fact that you have Coverdale on vocals for the 3rd time, no Ian Gillan, and by this time everyone's accepted, and most people did not have a problem, at least I didn't, with accepting Coverdale into the band. He makes a great fit. I think he always had. Again, apples and oranges when you compare him to Gillan. But what a great album. I'm going to call it a great album. And the overall, what you get out of it, the word for that, the overall satisfaction, it's not aura, anyway, I can't think of the word, but the overall aftermath of listening to this album is a sense of fulfillment. There's a sense of satisfaction. I love this album, as I said, and I'm very passionate about it. So while this doesn't win against Presence, in the scheme of things, if Presence is here, wherever that may be, I mean, it's almost touching. That's how much they're almost equal. So when I say that I like this better than this, it's not by much. And it's not because, in my opinion, that I'm going with the flow, that these pale in comparison with the rest of the discography. I disagree. I think they're very good. Now, is this physical graffiti? No. Is this in rock? No. But they're still very good albums, and so these definitely are hailed by me as great albums because they just give me a sense of fulfillment. When I'm done, I have to take a break, kind of thing. And so again, they're not masterpieces or they're not legendary like the 2 I just mentioned, but again, they fit right in with the catalog. And so they're close to each other. What I'm saying is that they're so close to each other, not because they're average or mediocre or just above average. They're so close together because they're very good or great albums. And I've said both of those phrases because I'm on the fence whether or not they're very good or great. Maybe somewhere in between, but that would be the consensus. Anyway, so I'm a little wishy-washy with that, so a little inconsistent because I haven't made up my mind, and so I didn't write anything down really except the dates when these came out. So I came in kind of improvising and wanted to go with, you know, if you're on the couch at the psychologist, just off the bat, how do you feel, kind of thing. So that's how I feel. They're somewhere in between very good and great. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. Bye.